Good morning. We're going to call the August 6th Stormwater Management Committee to order. Have roll call, please.
Hummel. Desart. Eckhoff. Evans. Here. Garcia. Interlong. Nero.
Here.
Kojak.
Here.
Police. Tornatori. Yusuf. They.
Here. A quorum of members is physically present. I will entertain a motion to permit those members not physically present due to personal illness or disability, employment purposes, or the business of the board, family, or other emergency or unexpected child traffic to participate by video or teleconference. A motion by member Desart, second by member Police. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Welcome. Okay, full house today. Good to see everybody. Move on to public comment. Public comment is limited to 3 minutes per person, of course, unless you're Kay McKean. Morning, Kay.
Morning. I want to thank everybody who was able to help with the STEMapalooza. It was fantastic. The first day was a little bit slow on Thursday. I think the public's getting used to 4 days again, going back up from 3. But then we were busy, very busy the rest of the time. And the stormwater team was fabulous with the erosion model. Kids and families, I know, learned a whole lot. So it was thousands of kids and families, and we're grateful for everybody's help and that opportunity to teach so many. Itasca is our newest member with a permanent drop-off site for cooking oil. So we're grateful to get their public works department on. That brings us up to 13 locations for people to drop off cooking oil and protect water quality. And then the pumpkin smash is coming up. The pumpkin smash this year will have 2 dates. Towns can pick from either on November 2nd or November 9th, and that'll give residents a lot of opportunities. Some are not ready to give up their pumpkins right away, get those composted, so they have 2 dates to pick from this year. So I'll let you know what towns are doing which as they sign up. Thanks for everything.
Thank you, Kay, for your work on the fair. It's always great. Let's see, public comment, chairman's remarks. Just want to thank those staff who work at the county fair. It always goes well. The color of the shirt was a little robin's eggs, a little light for me, but it's okay. But I want to thank all of them. I want to thank staff too. We've had a lot of storm events here. It's a lot in July, and so I know good thing I don't sleep, but I know they're up at night watching all the gauges and everything, making sure our facilities are working. So I appreciate all their efforts. Hopefully, we won't have any. It's only August, right? Sure, yeah. Sure, we'll have some more events. So I appreciate all your guys' efforts. That's all I have. Is there approval of the minutes? Can I get a motion on 24/2002 minutes of the Tuesday, July 2nd? By member Garcia, second by member Evans. Any questions or corrections? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item 6, can I have a motion on the claims report 24-2076? Please, second by member Garcia. Any questions? Oh, member Desart.
Thank you, Chair. I just wondered, one of the line items was for the Conservation Foundation, which I completely support, of course, but it was for $9,920. Is that what we pay them annually, or is that a monthly? How much do we give the Conservation Foundation annually is my question.
Sure, and thank you. Next month, you'll actually see a new contract with the Conservation Foundation for our next year's annual budget. Usually, I think in our budget, we included $77,000. It may be slightly higher for the Conservation Foundation, but it is around $75,000 to $80,000 annually. This invoice is for the remaining portion of the contract to close. And so currently, right now, we're sitting without an existing contract.
Thank you so much.
They do our education. Well, our seminars and all that, they take a lead on that. Do all that for us, from plowing to, you name it, they do it.
Correct, all of our non-youth environmental education.
Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. On item staff reports. Is there a motion to receive and place on file 24-2036, 2024 August program events update, and 24-2737 July current? Second by member Yusuf. Any questions? No? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? action items. A motion on SMR 3-24, resolution to approve an agreement between the County of DuPage and St. Joseph's Creek Condominium Association for St. Joseph's Creek Condominium Flood Mitigation Project. By Member Garcia. Second. Second by Member Solis. Any questions? Member Dessert? Pace yourself. I know we've been.
I'm
gone a month.
sorry.
Okay,
I have a lot of questions. No, I'm gonna be a pain today. I'm so sorry. Well, first of all, this item says mentions ARPA, so I didn't notice on the agenda that it said ARPA, but it's some of the ARPA money. Is that true?
Sure, this is actually split. We had a grant we applied for and received from FEMA
FEMA?
for
Mhm.
this, and the remaining funding portion is a combination of county funds and ARPA funds.
Okay, and my biggest question, Sarah, is that I see that DuPage County is spending over $3 million on this, and the condo association is spending zero. So is that standard typical, or, I mean, shouldn't they have a little skin in the game?
Sure, and that's a great question. This is one of the few private projects that came out of our watershed plan when we did the St. Joseph Creek watershed plan. A number of years ago, we brought it forward to this committee for approval. It is atypical. We have done this previously when you get a combination of federal funds. We did this previously in Hinsdale with the Grow Mill project, very similar, same thing, floodgates to protect condo units. And so essentially, we'll come in and we'll do this project, and their skin in the game is to maintain these in perpetuity.
Okay, thank you so much.
This goes beyond helping the condominium association. Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I have motion on 24, 2003, SMP 59A23, amendment to resolution SMP 5923, issued to Hayden Associates for professional engineering services, design stream bank stabilization projects throughout the county, increase the contract total by $48,205, resulting in amended contract not to exceed $133,205. Member Garcia, second member Poulos. Any questions? Member Dessert.
Last question, sorry. So
You
there's
guys
an
heard that, right?
It's early in the day.
today, at this committee meeting.
Oh, at this committee meeting.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. Okay, so there's an increase of almost 57%. I didn't see in the documents why that is. I mean, that seems like a huge percentage. The total was 85,000. So why is there a 57% increase? And again, whenever I see these huge increases, I wonder if we have to go back out to bid because they're not fulfilling their original commitment.
We don't bid engineering.
So,
Professional base, we don't bid engineering.
thank you, Chair. So specifically with this project, we are bringing forward what we believe the full amount could be to committee. So we're not coming back to the committee and asking for funding that's already been spent. And so we've made an estimate of what could be necessary in worst case scenario. With this project specifically, we've submitted to the Army Corps of Engineers for permit as well as the Illinois EPA. And they may require us to go through what's called an individual permit process, which it requires a whole different level of analysis as well as a public comment period and possibly a permit rewrite. And so there's almost a $25,000 portion of that project just in there for that. And then that study alone, and then changing the plans as necessary as a result of that public comment period. We hope this isn't required, but we want to bring it forward to the committee to know that it is a possibility before spending those funds.
Yeah, I appreciate that, but why didn't we know that when we first approved this contract?
That's the Army Corps. This is for our project on campus. So we were surprised when the Army Corps came in and said we might have to do this process, which we did not think we were going to have.
Okay, thank you.
Questions? Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion on SM 24. Approval of intergovernmental agreement between the County of DuPage and Bloomingdale Township for Mallard Lake Landing drainage improvements for an agreement not to exceed $90,000. Garcia, second by Member Dessert. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Got motion on SMP 21-24. Approve a contract issued to Coper Haven Construction for the St. Joseph's Creek Condominium Agreement Improvements for Building C, Stormwater Management period August 13th, 2024 through May 31st, 2026. Contract not to exceed $1,720,415 per lowest responsible bid. This was FEMA fund. Motion by member Desart, second by member Garcia. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Got a motion on SMP 22-24. Approval of contract issued to Copenhagen Construction for St. Joseph Street condominium drainage improvements for buildings A and B for stormwater management for the period of August 13th, 2024 through May 31st, 2026. Contract not to exceed $2,035,871 per lowest responsible bid. ARPA item. See a second member to start. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Favorite time, budget again. You wanna do a little budget?
Sure. Briefly, everyone, all the committee members have had an updated budget passed out to them. Not a lot of change since the presentation that we formally made to the committee. The biggest change is that our personnel services went up slightly, and that is due to a full head count. It was an error when I originally submitted the budget that I left our vacant head count that will be filled in 2 months out of the budget. And so now that it's full, it's put back in there. And that's really the only change in that budget as submitted and from what was presented. The other item that's not in the budget, but I would like to discuss because it could require us coming back for a full discussion to the committee.
Let me,
Okay.
I know there's been a feeding frenzy and, we've had member Krajewski here that we've got all this extra money. We have found out we've got a major problem at the Elmhurst Quarry with the keyhole structural problems. It's breaking at this point. The restraints are breaking away from holding it in place. So this is a major problem for this facility. The keyhole is obviously between the two lobes that holds up West Avenue that actually holds the road there. So there is major structural problems. We have staff going out for engineering, which could be $300,000-$400,000. Then it could be over $1 million. So this is, go ahead.
Sure,
I know you love breaking bad news. I'll break the bad news.
Thank you, Jim, or member Zay for bringing that up. It is quite serious. The keyway is the support over West Avenue, which is a public road. And so making sure this is stable and strong is crucial to us. We were doing an inspection as part of our capital assessment, and it was noted that some of the bolts that hold the sidewall in place had corroded over time, and this does happen over time. But it's sooner than we thought, and so we are having it reevaluated. We have an RFP out currently, which closes in 2 weeks, for an engineering study to evaluate and design an improvement. The improvement is usually companies that come from out west, because they're the ones who have the rock structures in the mountains. So it usually is a very expensive improvement when we do have to engage in it.
Thank you, Chair. So since there's a public road over it, do they bear any of the costs? What about, who is it, Elmhurst Quarry itself? Do they contribute also?
Well, technically, we own that portion of West Avenue with how the easement is lined. But it would be, as far as we know, the county's responsibility to make sure this wall is stabilized.
So that's, I know we're talking about a lot of stuff, but that happened after the last meeting. And again, that's why we do these condition assessments, and obviously we're surprised by it. So it's not a good thing. Okay. Any other questions? If you have any questions on budgets or need any information, please contact, I would say me, really, just contact Sarah. She can give you, because I'll just have to call her. Okay, we'll move on to informational. Can I have a motion on 2048 to meet the needs of the department? Stormwater has purchased 2 Ford Bronco vehicles and 1 Ford Explorer to replace the 3 vehicles that had to be taken out of service. Total price of $100,000. $6,000. Member Desart, second by member Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Old business. I have one item. We've got people here. I saw there was a neighborhood caucus here earlier. We have reached out to everybody on the ARPA that they have to get their information back to us and have to have projects done, especially for October. Naperville Township has been dragging their feet to the point where we don't think they're gonna be able to complete their projects. Well, I mean, it's getting our people, we have been on them nonstop. It's nothing that we have been asking, and we're getting a turn. We got something a couple weeks ago. But, again, we're coming under the gun here. I think it's about 150,000.
Correct.
So, again, if anybody could reach out to them and try to spur them along any more than our staff can. Because if not, we're taking the money.
So here's a wild question. If Naperville Township, and I will call Eddie Bedford about this and see what's going on, but if they don't use the money allocated to them, can the money be allocated elsewhere? For example, I know the Naperville Park District had wanted, had listed like $2 million in stormwater projects, and we granted them $950,000. But my wild question is, if this box doesn't want to use the money, can we move it to this box?
This box is the county, and that's the county would take it back and use it,
All right, thank you.
or something. Yeah. Again, and we've been upfront with these people, and this is not something we've been doing just recently. We've been on them like, you have to do this. They've signed agreements, they've done this, and, I know Jamie's been on it a lot, so, they're trying to, so we're trying to help as much as we can. They might be able to get one project done. I don't think they're gonna.
Correct, absolutely. And for the municipal members, I know the county board has sat through presentations in the finance committee from the finance department. All ARPA funds must be obligated by the end of this year. Our municipal contracts as well as our township contracts have a clawback clause in them, in that if the funds are not fully spent prior to that obligation, that we will claw them back to make sure the county can re-obligate it appropriately into a county ARPA project.
Statue. No.
Bronze, of course.
Made out of butter. Okay, any other old business? Any new business? Hearing none. Your motion to adjourn? Moved by member Torrentori, second by member Garcia. All in favor?
Aye.
Adjourn. Thank you, everyone.